Right, back again, another lockdown workshop. We've got this beauty. It's a Whyte 905 hardtail. Nice piece of kit this. Nice colour too. Bit mucky, could do with cleaning. What have we got that's wrong with this? So last time we were out, I don't know if you can hear that, you might be able to see it. There's quite a lot of play. There's probably about 1 millimeter's play at the end of the crank. I think it's the bearing in this side. I've popped them out and had a quick look just to check what size they are. The owner's happy to switch bearings on it instead of replacing the whole bottom bracket, which is great because I've got some bearings in stock. I did mention I'd got a Shimano Saint bottom bracket shell, which is kind of a goldy orange colour. So, and he'd already mentioned he was looking at them, so I said, look, I'll just stick you that shell in instead and we'll recover that shell. So we'll crack on with that today. Should be a fairly easy one. Won't be a long video. I'll give the bike a quick clean up because it's a bit dirty. I mean, look at the state of that there. It's filthy. Yeah, very, very, very dirty. So it's almost like somebody put it away without cleaning it. That couldn't possibly happen. Anyway, right, let's get on with the show. But I think I'll possibly need to tidy up a bit because this is what was left of yesterday's carnage. We'll need some of this stuff. Won't need the cone spanners. We can pack them away. We'll need the bearing extractor kit possibly, and I might need these as well. Depends. They can be a bit fiddly sometimes getting them in, and I need to put the tool back together because I think I will be using it on that to clean. We'll give that a quick clean up. I'm not cleaning the bike though. That's not my bag, as I've said before. I'm here to fix them, not clean them. There you go. Right, I'll stick you in the stand and we'll crack on. Right, and we're off. Let's see if that works. I've just synced it up to the phone, just see if I can fix the date stamps on the videos. You don't care about that, but it was annoying me. They were all out of sync. Every time it crashes, it appears to do this. Now, this should come off fairly easily. They're quite clever, these. They've got a... So in case you don't know, these have got a cap on. That's a metal cap that sits on there, and you can take that out to get to the plug behind it. But if you leave the cap in place, it actually acts like a crank extractor. It says. No, you can't. Flipping heck, who tightened this up? There we go. So it actually forces the nut as it drives out, then forces on the back of that cap, and hey presto, you don't have to use a crank extractor. Now these are SRAM, but they're very similar to the old Shimano Octolink that they used to have connector. So that's off. Just check the pedals. No play there. That's good. So I can just knock that one out now. Go get me wellying stick. I might need a new wellying stick. Oh, that's in a bit of a mess. Right, there's been quite a lot of water ingress there, you can see. Just check the bearing channel's not damaged. No, that's okay. They do actually sit slightly proud on these, so that sits lower than that, which is unusual because most of them that's just, it's all one length across. The one at this end though does look a bit ropey, so obviously we've been getting a lot of water getting in from the other side. Just need to be careful because I think there is there's a cover on that side. We've just got to keep hold of, not lose that. So we'll get them out now, and then we'll pop the bearings out of them. Stick that in there. Posh new tool. I'm going to avoid using the impact driver because it's good on the difficult ones, but it does tend to start chewing the casings up a bit. So if you can get them out normally. Right, now then, so what's the rule? This is on the left hand side, so the pedal's got a left hand thread. The bottom bracket should have a right hand thread because it's opposite to the pedal. So this should just unscrew normally, he says. There we go. Oh, that's knowledge. Just remember that. Your pedals go with your leg, the bottom bracket's the opposite. Which is a bit counterintuitive if you think about it, because you're mainly driving that way around, so it's going to tighten up, but I guess it's got nowhere to go because it's going to hit the crank. And on the other side, it would tighten up going that way around. So let's get the shell out. Oh, look at the state of that. That's proper minging, that is. If we've got a rubber seal fail, there's a lot of crap in the bottom of there. I'm thinking pressure washer might have done that. That's quite bad. Right, just have to bear with me while I squeeze my fat carcass around here. Right, so this is going to be a left-hand thread, so I need to imagine I'm tightening this up now. Oh! Oh, flipping heck. Might need to get the percussion thing on this in a minute. That's tight. Let me get the big persuader. If not, we'll have to stick it on the floor and do it on its wheels. Oh no, there we go. The big persuader never fails. So that was bought for removing wheel nuts and hub carrier bolts from a Land Rover Freelander. That nut's a bit chewed up, so I think somebody's had a go at that before. Right, so we'll stick that back together and then we will get these to pieces. So let's have a look, see if we were right. That feels graunchy. Actually, they both feel pretty rough. Might be getting some resonance on that. I'd say they're about equal, actually. They look like they both failed for the same amount. We'll get them popped out. Are we recording? Yeah, so just in case you're curious, that's what we're doing. Look, there's you. Look, you. So we're just controlling it with the phone so I can see what the picture is. It's easier than that. Sounds like they're to just get these casings to pieces. So we'll give that a clean up in a minute and just give them a visual inspection. Work out which one goes where. So I think it was that one goes in there, that one goes there, but I don't think it matters that much because from what I remember the carriers are the same. Yeah, that just goes inside, so it doesn't really matter which way round they go, to be honest. Has one got a longer ridge or one is slightly longer, so I would definitely be tempted to put the that down, the longer one. Yep, we'll clean that out. I suspect that is loose in there and that's why that's failed, so we might want to have a look at that rubber seal in there, if there is a rubber. No, it's still there. Just seemed to fit better on that side though. But I guess if you put it in there you might not get it all the way across. Depends on the thickness of the bottom bracket. No, that would do it. I think we might switch it round. I think that would be a better fit. I think that other way round might be for the smaller bearings. Oh no, it does actually say drive side, so that goes towards the drive side, which is that one. There you go. You learn something new every day on them. Some of them do have stuff on, some of them don't. Right, so let me go. Oh, it's got left and right on it as well. So I'm there with the sews again. This is a Shimano Saint. This came off a Planet X on one. So it's not Planet X really. It's an on one 456 Evo Carbon. There you go. To give it its proper name. So these should go straight in. So we've just got to pop the bearings out of these. I think I just put some old bearings back in them. We'll pop them out and then we'll stick the new ones in. But what I will do is I might pop the bearings out of them anyway. But so you can have a look at them and just see what the process is for popping them out. I will need an extractor, because on these there is actually a bearing retainer. Look at the state of them. Now one of these, because these are springs, one of these will have a little indexed tooth behind it. It's just finding out which one. And then how to get it. There we go, got it. So there's a little it's got a little index on the tooth there where you can get your pick behind it, and then you can run round and pop it out. And you can see how much crud's in there. Look at that. That's a dirty bearing. Right. So the best way to get these out is to actually use a bearing puller. Now I'm not sure whether this one will work or whether I need the other one, but we'll have a go with this one. No, that's not going to work. That's my kids having a ding dong. The Tourette's is strong in that one this morning. Right, let's have a look what goodies we've got in here. Right, I think that's the one we want. If I can remember how to use this kit. Ooh, there we go. Can't remember how we do this now. I think that drops in there. That goes through there like that. It's that long since I've used this, and I suspect I've stolen some bits out of it as well for something else. I think I'm missing something still. What's that doing at the bottom of there? No idea how that works actually. I know how. I know how. It goes on that way round. That goes like that, and then you can draw it right. So that splits it apart. There's a rubber thing holding it there. That chavs it against there, and then you put a catcher cup over the top of it, like that, and then you can draw the bearing into that space there. But you need to get them out first. So I need a little bit of help with that one. Now you need to be careful with these because they damage quite easily. So you've got to try and be very gentle when you push them out. I can't remember what I used last time. I think I might have used a blade or something. You could find something that's exactly the right side to push them out. There you go. If you can just get enough on the lip, but then don't push it all the way through, because 9 times out of 10 you'll damage the back of it. That's it, and they're out now. The same with that one. That one's already out. So we'll drop that in there, and in theory, that bearing should come out into that cup. If it doesn't, I seem to remember we've got an extender that goes over the top of it somehow. Possibly. I thought we had. No, it just fits inside there. So I think that's the one and only. So that goes up the back. So that goes into the back of the bearing. Come on, behave. So we've got 2 different sizes of bearing here. That can't be possible. How does that work? We have got 2 different sizes of bearing. That is awkward. Houston, we might have a problem here. When I checked these the other day, that looked like a standard bearing. But this one is a small bearing. It's a lot smaller than that. So what I need to do is make sure that this will fit on the crank. Because I don't really care what was on there before, as long as it fits on here. So that bit fits on there. Let's clean this off. Why would you have 2 different sizes of bearing? That means you must have 2 different sizes of cup. So that means they must be 2 different sizes as well. What a weird setup. Ah, right, I get it. One doesn't have one on, and it just has a silly faceplate on it. I'm with you now. So that is a direct drive onto there, and then that one has a carrier cup. Right, so I'm with it. So this should work, he says. No, I'm not going to fall for that one, because I'll have to knock it back out again. Interesting. Right, well, we'll give it a go. In fact, I'm tempted just to install it with these on, just to see if we can get it in and out. So that's the right hand side, so that would be the drive side, so it's this one that would need to go up there anyway. So that goes up all the way. Where's my persuader gone? Yeah, I don't do many SRAMs. Now I know why. I've got it stuck. So I think we might have a spot of bother here. It's not the standard size. And I'm sure when I looked the other day it said that they were. I think that's the original oil seal in there as well. Right, let's just see if I can get this on all the way up. Oh, so it does go all the way up, so it should fit. Right. Let's go back to plan A and let me just show you how to get these out. We can do the smaller one first. Yeah, we'll do the smaller one. So just drop that on there, chuck that on there. Chuck that over there, and then somewhere in here is this. Now there is a little spinner set up. I told you it's a bit over the top engineered, this one. So that's a little like a Lazy Dolly, Lazy Susan ball race in there, and then you crank that down on there. Once that in there, and then you can stick it in here or stick it in a thing. It doesn't really matter. I got that the wrong way. I've got that the wrong way around. Come on, Tolla, get a grip. I'm pushing, not pulling. Oh no, I wasn't. I was the right way. I was the right way round. It's early. There you go. Can feel it go. There you go. It's dropped in. That's free. Bearings in the end. There you go. One bearing. God, they're a weird bearing. A very weird bearing. Yeah, that doesn't feel good at all, that one. Right, so we'll do the same with this one. Might need a slightly bigger piece for that one. I do have some more bits. There you go, a slightly bigger one. The only problem is that they're getting these packets open with greasy fingers. That's already got its rubber on, don't need to worry about that. The question is, does it fit? No, it doesn't. Right, so that one was I think that one was too small. Oh no, it was the right size for that one, wasn't it? That's it to do with that. So now I'm going to work out where to put it. Right, so same thing again. That goes through there, jams against the inside of that. That goes in the cup. That goes through there. Sounds slightly more graunchier. See what's happened with that. I think the thing I was using to push it out with is possibly I see what's happening. Right, I think this is the problem with this one, is the cup's too the cup. Yeah, it's Proper jammed up in there. Right. There we go. It's got part of it out anyway. Yeah, there's some chewing up on there, which means it's now stuck in there. So what we need to just do is stick it back in the frame. So that's the left hand one. So I've just dropped it into the frame again. The cups got stuck on some of the teeth that were slightly chewed up. So we'll just use the loosen it off. There we go. And it's not going to damage the frame or the cup because it's well inside the frame, and I'm just tapping it off. It's coming. It's nearly there. Actually, what I could do is just thread the bar through actually and just whack it from this side. There we go, all out. Right, how's the mic looking? Are we still good? Yep, still in there. Just as a tester, I've turned the noise reduction off on the mic because I'm wondering whether it was going to work too hard trying to correct noise that it couldn't understand. Because I think what it does is it's got multiple microphones on the camera normally, and it uses a combination of those to work out what's wind noise to get rid of it. Just pry these off gently. Right, so we just need to pop that. That's it. So there's a dust shield on these, and all we've got to do is just pop these bearings out. Oh, these are ceramic bearings in here. Interesting. Now I know we took those bearings out and they were out of a bike and they were okay. So what I might do is, in fact, no, let's stick some new bearings in just to be on the safe side. I don't want to. These have been used, and they've been used for about a year or so on a road bike, but they were taken out because I thought we got a bearing issue, but then it turned out we didn't. So I'll just pop these out. I just need to be really careful I don't damage them. How are we going to get these out of here then? Don't know if that will do it. Well, that might do it. Come on, in you go. That's it. Same again, stick that through there. Thought we would have had a better way of doing it than that. I don't like how that goes over the top of it, you see, and it just worries me it's going to damage it. Well, that's not much better either. It's like the ring's slightly too big. Because then it drives down on it, and I've got to force it out. It's just the wrong size. Where's that other one there kicking around on here? I chucked it back in the. And try it with this one and wide it out on this. They are slightly longer. Actually, we do have a smaller one, don't we? I wonder if that would sit around the edge and the bearing would. I think the bearing would still drop into that. Yeah, it would. So we use one of the bottom spanners that don't sit over the top. And, well, actually, we'll get it going with that one because that sits on the thread. I should imagine that will then go, yep, that'll sit nicely over the top of that. Looks like a plan. Stan. Stick that in there. That in there. Find the other bit of the Lazy Susan and wing that on. That's it. So we'll get it started. Well, there you go, it's done it anyway. Job's a good one. Just shows you've got to use everything. Yeah, they're little, but they are ceramic. Yeah, it definitely says ceramic on the back of there. So that is a set of ceramic bearings. So we'll give this a go. We'll rebuild this with a new set of bearings, which I've got in here. I've even got some end caps as well. Come on, bottom bracket bearings, where are you? We've got all sorts in here. There we go. Bottom bracket bearings. 2 of. And they are £5.50 each. We've got all sorts floating around here for rebuilding things. Yeah, so these are quite useful to have. So whenever I do a bearing, I always keep a set of these for various reasons, but you can chuck them on. They do all sorts. Now, one of these might be a better option for this crank because it might fit better. Yeah, they fit a lot better. So what I'll do is I'll drop one of them in instead. But we'll see how we go. Let's press the new bearing in first. Oil. God, it looks like a dump site already. Nope, that's liquid thread lock. And I left the lid open too. That's not going to do it any good. Come on, oil, where are you? I had it last night. There we go. You're all shouting. It's there. Right, a little bit of lube. Just check the insides of that. Drop that in. Right, now then, how's going to be the best way to do this? Sometimes just using an old bearing is the best way to do it. Where's all my rags gone? Somebody has stolen all of my rags. Oh, it's there. The dirty rag. Yeah, these bearings are a right old mess. Have I popped the other one out of that one yet? I thought I'd pop the other one out. Oh no, we didn't finish doing it, did we? Also do the same thing. Where's that silver one gone? And that. It's the long ploddy thing. There's so much wanted to come out, they're practically falling out now. Still not quite there. I'll wang it up a bit. I'll just finish off the... That's it. So that's the other one. Yeah, it's not in a good way. A funny little rubber seal on as well. They have very custom bearings, these, but to say they've gone to all the trouble of having custom made bearings with extra bits on there and other bits on, do you know what? Actually, they haven't lasted that long. They haven't lasted that well either. So I'm not entirely sure that was a good plan. Right. So the reason I wanted that bearing is because it was a flat bearing. I can use this as a sacrificial bearing to push the other one in. You just got to be careful you don't end up pushing it in behind it, because it can get a great pain up the backside to get it out. Oh, they are graunchy. Right. So there are many ways to do this. Just to offer a bit of protection to the back of the housing, I'm going to sit it in there. We're just going to push this, use the thing. We could use the thread system we've just been using, but just got to be careful I don't start pushing that one in as well, because if I start pushing that one in, I've got to then get it out. Right, I think that's in as far as it's going. Maybe it might go in a little bit further. No, that would appear to be it. Right, let's just do a visual check with the other one. Yeah, they do sit slightly proud. Yep, that's spot on. So what we'll do is we'll just wang that in there. And again, we'll put some red grease around that, because that's where the surface is going to run on the rubber. Right, what I might do is just pack that gap there just to stop muck and water from getting down there. It shouldn't do anyway, because we've got the liner in, but right, now we've just got to decide which one of these we're going to use, whether we use one of those or whether we use one of the new ones, which I think will be slightly better fit. So given that it's got a rubber seal on it, I'm going to go with that, because I think that would be a much better, unless they've got a recess on the back of them for sitting into the rubber, or something that stops them from dragging on the rubber. They've got a recess. So they've got a little recess behind that keeps them away from the rubber seal, so I can't use these because these haven't got a recess that keeps them away from the rubber seal. So I'm going to have to use the original ones. This is the problem, there's so many standards with these. Everybody's got their own little designs on. I probably would have worked, but it would have meant I've just got to be really careful about where I... Oh, that feels sweet, that. Right, so most important thing is put it out there and out of the way so we don't get it confused with this one. So we'll get the ceramic one out of this now. So same thing again, not in there. Oh, do you know what? No, I can't use that because it won't go through the... So we'll drop that in there. Take that off there. put that in there, wang that over the top. So it doesn't matter how many bits you need, you still have to go head China on it every now and again. There you go, straight out. Perfect, look at that. Right, another spare ceramic bearing. Right. Put the old bearings out of the way. New bearing. So thing again, we'll just put that over the back just to protect the things, just because that's uneven. So if I grind down on that, it could damage the thing because they're actually quite thin at the end of there. So actually that probably would have worked because it sits inside there, keeps it lined up. I might keep that bearing. That might be a useful bearing for doing exactly this. The sound of bearing that doesn't want to go in. Oh no, we have got stuck. Look away. How's that got stuck in there? It says low battery. Have we got a low battery? Right, so that's in. Oh, spinny. We need to stick the rubber seal on, which I appear to have lost. There we go, found. Just give it a clean off. Same thing again, rubber, grease. Get some down the back of there as well. Just try and seal that hole up. Oh, that feels sweet. Right, so that's the bit, that's that, all done with them. Right, so let's put these to one side with all those bits. That's one at new bits. These bits and the funny little metal bits that one's got slightly deformed. See if we can straighten that back out. Don't know how that's happened. Right, we'll keep hold of that. We might not need that now because obviously we've got a rubber seal on it, but we might still need it as a spacer. But that's all that is. That's just a rubber seal, but it's a rubber seal that sits on the crank rather than sits on that. Whereas these have got the rubber seal on the outside, so you shouldn't need them. I mean, I could take, yeah, no, we'll leave it as it is. Right, so which ones have we got here? Left and right. That goes to right. Are you still running out of power? We're getting low on power. Which one's that? That's right. That points to right, so that goes on there. So again, a little bit of grease on there because it's a seal, so it just helps it seal. Not a massive amount. It's just helped the. That's it. That goes in. Same thing on there. And then we'll reinstall that in a minute. Let me stick a new battery in you. Right, so we can get this installed back on the bike now. Right, one thing we do need to do though, I don't know if you can see that, let me de-elevate you. That's minging in there. I can't believe somebody would let their bike get like that. That is absolutely... God, there's all sorts in there. That's just what you want when you're doing some videoing, is having to finger somebody's bottom bracket. Right. I think we've got most of it out. I'm more bothered about getting it out of the threads, to be honest. As with most things with these, we'll stick some anti-seize in, because it is two different metals. Anti-seize for the American audience, copper slip for the UK audience. Now I've had to finger some grease into the bottom bracket. It's all go this morning. Right then, so I would prefer to put the which one's the left side. I would prefer to get the left side in, or get the left side started. So again, you're looking for fingers. If you're having to do more than fingers, there's something not right. Not mucking the threads with this one. I'm not happy with that. Let me go and get a hand baller. This one's got a nail on it, so it does actually help you. I think we've just got muck in the threads. It's definitely not cross-threaded. It's in the thread. It's just mucky. I did have trouble getting this one out. I think that's okay now. Let's just get this on it. Run it in and run it back out again, just to make sure the threads are cleared. I don't like leaving them in when they're tight. I'd rather get them out now before they get minced up and get that molly slip running backwards and forwards. But it's definitely on the right thread. It feels fine, that now. Yeah, that's going lovely now. Don't want to do it up too tight just yet, because we don't know if it fits. Should do. That's it. So what I mean about, you've got to make sure. That felt like it was going in, but it wasn't. The plastic outer had caught the edge of the one on the other side, but that's going in with fingers now. So that feels fine, that one. So these are knurled, because in theory you should be able to install these without using a ratchet. You see, I'm starting to hit some of the crud now, because these Saints are about 5mm longer than the ones that were in. I mean, it's still going in with my hand. It's just not easy. It's because I'm hitting the crud. So what I'll do is back this off a bit and give it a quick whiz backwards and forwards. That's it. I think we're through it now. Just snug it up. There is actually a torque setting on these. It always makes me laugh when it says do not disassemble. No, because then you won't make an absolute fortune out of people. Right, one Shimano Saint. Bottom bracket installed. Let's see if we can get this to fit now. So I'm just going to clean this off. I'm going to put a bit of, I'm not going to put some grease on, I'm going to put some lube on this. Because I think grease will be too thick and sticky. You can still feel it's a bit gritty on there. I need my persuader. Now I've noticed with these SRAM ones, you do need to give them a bit more of a tap than your Shimano's. So that's going in all right now. You just have to be careful at this end because sometimes it knocks the... So far so good. It's not snugged up yet though. So the only thing I was worried about is that there's a bit of give on the Shimano ones. So we'll get a few more wellies. And then I'll probably have to go and clean it anyway. That's it, that's in now. That's fine. Right. That's better than a so. We had a right that time. Let's stick this back in. Sorry, I just stuck it on. I haven't done anything else. I just stuck this back on. Just going to crank it in and see where it ends up with. That's if it's biting. It might not be biting. Can't remember if I had to give this a welly last time. Give it a bit of a... It's a bit of encouragement. No, we're not there. We're not there. It's better. Is it biting yet? Oh, we've got a bite. So what I'm looking for now is just checking that how far it goes in for if I need to put the spacer back in. Yeah, I think we still need the spacer in there. Yeah, we do need the spacer. So this is a bit of a Voyager discovery because I don't know whether you can fit a Shimano bottom bracket to an SRAM setup. You probably can't, but it's not a million miles away. So I'm thinking with that spacer, it'll probably be okay. But if not, it looks like we are stuck with a GXP. And I'll have to either rebuild the bottom bracket that was on, or order a new GXP one. But I seem to remember the GXP ones are flipping expensive. Right, that's actually wound the outer one out, which we didn't want to do. Just wind that one back in again. Oh, we're playing awkward today, aren't we? Let's put that one back in. Wind this one back out. There we go, it's off now. Right, so let's stick that spacer on and see if that makes much difference. I don't think it will. tell me now there's only one way for that to go on. Yeah. Well, it should go all the way down. I don't know why it's not going all the way on. So look at the distance. When I just sit slightly more proud, we'll have to run a spacer in there. So what I've done is I've just dropped a spacer behind there, just to see if I can pack it out a bit more. Get in there. No, that's not going to work. We need a GXP bottom bracket. There's too much gap. So after all that, it's nearly there. It's not a million miles away, but that will move. If I hit that, it will come out the other side because it's not hard up against it. So I think we're going to have to go and invest in a GXP bottom bracket, which is a bit annoying. Let's wang this back off again. So I'm probably going to call this one here and abandon this, strip it all back out again, which you don't need to see on video, and we'll just go and get a GXP sorted out for it. Either see if we can get the bearings to rebuild the old one, or just buy a GXP. I think they're flipping expensive. I think they're about 70 or 80 quid last time I looked. Yeah, don't lose any of them bits. That shim was off a different bottom bracket. I just thought I might be able to pack it out a bit more, but it's not playing. So let's welly this one back out. So it goes in and out now, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go. Things always come to pieces easier than they... I don't think there's much more on the... there's not much more on that one. Yep. Right, let's quickly deinstall these then. Well, there's one thing, I've got a rebuilt bottom bracket ready to go, should I need it. You've got to just put me in. Oh, squeeze. Flip the other way. Just throw it on the floor. Alright, so we'll put that one back to bed. That one's ready to go for if anybody else wants it. And we'll just have a quick look in my box of bits and just see what else I've got. So I've got them standard bearings, so I can replace one of these because that's the same bearing that we've got in here. That's a standard. Same thickness, everything. It's 6605, which is what I believe these are. Yep, 6605. So that's a standard bearing. So we can fix that bit of it. But what I can't do, in fact that is one of my, is that one of the ceramic? That's one of the ceramic ones. They're the knackered ones. Not them, they're the ceramic ones. Right. But it's this one here. This one that's a bit weird. Because I can't even measure that. Oh, here we go. It does have a reading on the... No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's got some kind of a weird rubber seal on the on that side of it, which I'm going to try and poke off. Aha. Yeah, that's got a weird seal. Graunchy. Yeah, so it's got a lip on it. So it's finding a replacement bearing, or you go for one without the lip and just go on the inner. But that lip's there for a reason, to support the axle. But there's an argument it doesn't do a great deal. But I'm just going to have a look, see if I've actually got anything in here already. Because it is quite possible I have already ordered some bearings like this for somebody else. They're the old bottom bracket bearings out of the, and the wheel bearings out of the original one. Are they ceramic as well? Weird. They're ceramic as well. I do believe these are ceramic. Ceramic. So we've got loads of sets of ceramic bearings. We've got some brand new ones as well. Right. So it's that one I've got to replace. We've just got to see if we can clean it up so I can read what it says on it, because I think it has got some writing on it. You just can't see it behind the rubber lip. It is a very specialist one. It's there. It's always on the bit I can't quite clean. There's definitely something written there. We'll get a measurement out of it. I mean, it's going to be a 22 inside and whatever they are on the outside. I mean, I could try installing the standard bearings, because they are... No, they're thicker. See, that's the problem. That's thicker. So I couldn't even get away with sticking this bearing in and hoping for the best. With it. So it must be passenger side bearing, that, because the other one had that on it. No? Yes. That had that on it on that side. So it's this bearing here that's the issue. That bearing sits out thicker and then has that over the top of it. Yeah, I think the best thing to do is order some new GXP bearings, because I think these carriers have seen better days as well. That's a shame. Might do some investigation into that though and see if we can actually just get... It's a 2-vac bearing. So the other one's the same, it's got a weird rubber seal on it. But that is a standard bearing. It's the same width as the other ones. Interesting. Take my ceramic ones out before I lose them. Right, so I think we'll call it there. When you come back, we'll either have rebuilt that or we'll have